My name is Martin Kolar. I work as a video analyst here in GNK Dinamo. I have masters in kinesiology with the directions in football. I started to work here as a volunteer 4 years ago, and now I work with under 19 as my full-time job. We have 3 different types of analysis. It's the match, opponents, and the training. So for the match, my analysis looks like that I download the game that we've seen and I try to make an analysis as soon as possible. I try to follow the demands from the whole school. I try to follow demands for the different positions from the coach, and then by those demands I try to make small cuts or even the bigger ones. So when I show video cuts to my coach, sometimes I make the export of that video, sometimes I show him to those situations directly on my laptop. He tells me what did he want in that situation to happen, and so I can make either drawing or I can find the similar situations in the game that demand happened in the game that coach wanted. We can make comparison with the situation that demand happened and the situation that demand didn't happen. That we have clear demands for them and exact instructions that we give them by the pitch. Of course, when we do video analysis, we try to make demands so clear that the players can adapt themselves in that situation on the pitch. We try to show them a couple of different situations with the same demand for different position, of course. To make it fully understandable to them, we try to draw things that they did or didn't do on the video. It is sometimes hard for the players to understand what do we want, but when we show and draw that to the players, they have 100% of understanding of the situation. Perhaps when the right back has the ball or the right wing, we try to make an early cross with the opposite attacking midfielder, attacking between central defender and their right back. The opposite winger is attacking the back from their right back, and the striker is attacking the space between central defenders. They need to fill their positions in the box for an early cross, especially in the situations that we find ourselves in with the low blocks. That is the most effective thing to break the low block. As much as we want to follow our demands, we need to adapt on the opponent, not in the 100%, but at least 12–30% to adapt on the opponents, because we like to see, do they play with 2 strikers, do they play with 2 attacking midfielders, do they play with 2 defensive midfielders, are they playing with 3 on the back, how they make build-up, how they make transitions, attacking transition, the defensive transitions. Especially we try to focus on the set pieces as attacking corners or defensive corners, defensive set pieces. And we try to make some variations of, let's say, build-up when they defend with 2 strikers. And we try to adapt ourselves to make space for our defensive midfielder to open up. He needs to have timing of opening up to make the pass on the 3rd player. This is just one example of how we want to adapt ourselves on the opponents. One situation from the game where we attacked a lot and we couldn't score, and it was, I think, the 35th or 39th minute. That was our 1st or 2nd attacking corner. We made a play with the heel pass and back pass on the penalty area that we trained on the day before, and that we made the analysis on the exact same situation that we saw that they are guarding man-to-man in the box, and if we draw them from their positions, we can make space on the penalty area. It helped us because we opened up their low block, and eventually the game ended 6-1 for us. One good fact that video analysis directly helped us to win the game. Data and video analysis are important as equal in football generally, but in youth football I think that video analysis is more important than to have some big data. For daily work, it is important to show them where can they make progress. When you try to make some charts of the player, then data is necessary. When you try to present the player, let's say to the staff, to the board, you need to have data. But in general, if you don't have video of him or general feedback that they saw him on the pitch, then the data can be deceiving. Depends on the situation. So if you have the player that constantly making the same mistakes, maybe he's a little bit in bad behavior, then you try to give critic in front of the whole team. But if that situation happened once or twice, then we try to make critics more individual. We call them on the side and tell them private conversation. Because when you attack him for one thing in front of the whole group, that is not good, because once or twice it can happen to everybody. But if you immediately attack him, his self-esteem will immediately decrease. You don't want that, especially for some players that are very important for you. We try to implement individual analysis more in pre-season, in private conversations or in group conversations. So we call, let's say, all of our strikers, and then we show them what is our demand in this situation. And then on the pitch or on the training, we try to individually show them what they need to do in exact situation. After that training or after a couple of matches, I, as video analyst or somebody from assistant coach or the head coach, calls them and show them, okay, we showed you 4 demands, you did 2 of them, how can we improve you to make another 2 of our demands? You need to be clear in that advices for your players. That individual analysis is primarily done in pre-season for us. Of course, it is done in the season, but as the season is going to an end, we try to decrease those a lot of information, because they are tired and they don't accept those informations as good as they did in pre-season or during the season. For each position, for some individual player, we don't have more than 3, 4, maximum 5 demands per position.